Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. The video today is the movies are coming for the month of September. This is where I give you an early preview of what major brand new releases you could possibly find at your local movie theater the following month. The month of September, we have a lot of variety. We have animation, also horror films. We're getting into spooky season, so of course we're going to have a lot of horror to talk about. But I'm so excited because the first film debuting September 6th is Beetlejuice 2. Now, technically, the title of this movie is Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, but personally for me, that's a little bit excessive, so I'm just going to call it Beetlejuice 2. Now, I love the original film. I'm a massive fan of it. I love Winona Ryder. I love Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. And I think the main draw for this movie is that those actors are reprising their roles because it would not work with anyone else. So Michael Keaton is returning as Beetlejuice. We have Winona Ryder. We have Catherine O'Hara. We also have the addition of Jenna Ortega and also other actors in other various roles throughout the movie. And Tim Burton is back directing. I am so excited for this. I cannot wait to see the film. I've seen the trailer a couple of times. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, pure nostalgia for a lot of us. And I anticipate that Beetlejuice 2 is going to have a pretty hefty opening weekend because Deadpool and Wolverine, the hype for that is starting to die down, as you guys can see from the box office numbers this past weekend. So I think Beetlejuice 2, it's the perfect time to revamp the box office with something new. I think it's going to have a pretty decent sized opening weekend. So I am so thrilled. I am there. Opening weekend, I'm there. I need to see this movie. But if you're not into Beetlejuice 2 and you do want something in the horror genre but not as comedic, we also have The Front Room. Now, this is a horror film starring Brandy, the return of Brandy in a horror film. Pretty much to sum this up really quickly, the plot line of this movie, because I've seen the trailer twice, I believe. Pretty much this is Brandy versus an evil mother-in-law. I mean, hey, we can all relate to that, right? We can all relate to that somehow, some way. But I think this is going to do well because it's great counter-programming to Beetlejuice 2. As I said, Beetlejuice 2 is more horror comedy. So if you're not looking for the humorous side of horror, you want something more horrific, then go and check out The Front Room. That would be the better option for you. But I'm excited for both of these. I may go and check out The Front Room because we have Brandy back in a horror film. So that's pretty exciting. All right, let's move on to September 13th, and that is Friday the 13th. So we have another horror film. Now, this movie, Speak No Evil, has been advertised like crazy. When I tell you that literally every single movie I have been to for at least the past 2 months has played this trailer, I am not kidding you. I have seen crazy James McAvoy all over this trailer so many times. I have to go and see it. It worked. I have to go and see it because honestly, James McAvoy, I just want to see his performance and see what he's going to do in this film because he is looking 50 Shades of Crazy in this film. He is so brilliant when it comes to taking on these very twisty and weird characters. I just watched Split and Glass for the first time a couple of weeks ago. And in particular, Glass, his performance in that film is phenomenal because the way he had to switch characters so quickly because of the multiple personalities that he had going on, I mean, it's just incredible. He's amazing. And just by watching the trailer for Speak No Evil, he just has these little facial ticks and tweaks that he does, and you think he's joking, but then he's serious. I mean, that's really creepy. That's really, really creepy. And I feel like by the end of the movie, he's going to go full on manic, and I want to see it. James McAvoy, in my opinion, is so underrated as far as being acknowledged for his performances because they're horror movies. I could go on all day. As you could see, I'm going on and on, but I can't help it. The man is amazing, truly amazing. So he's the reason why I'm going to check out Speak No Evil. And I have heard a lot of people were thinking this movie was not going to be so great. But the early reviews that I have been hearing about this film, it's really, really good. So I think it's going to be one of those films that really surprises us. We're going to go in with low expectations and we're going to come out like astonished with what we just saw. So I'm really looking forward to Speak No Evil. I know, I got to move on. I'm gushing about the movie, but James McAvoy, I got to check that out. All right. There are other options on Friday the 13th, though, in September. We have The Killer's Game. Now, this is a movie starring Dave Bautista and also kind of like an all-star cast. Now, the premise of this film, Dave Bautista plays a hitman, and he gets a medical diagnosis that he doesn't have long to live, like a couple months or something. And so, I don't know why, but he puts out a hit on himself. But here's the kicker. And this is all revealed in the trailer, by the way. These are not spoilers. But here's the kicker. His medical diagnosis was a mistake. So he's fine. He's completely fine. But now he has to worry about being killed. And he goes to end the contract, but for some reason it's denied. So now he has to fight all these different hitmen that are coming after him to kill him. I mean, it's kind of a fun concept, but I'm not really sure if I want to go and see this in theater. It kind of borderline seems like a streaming movie to me, but I'm also kind of intrigued. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm definitely reserving that weekend for Speak No Evil, but maybe if I have more time, maybe on like a Monday or something, I can go and check this one out. You never know. Now, the third major option on the 13th is called My Old Ass. I'm not kidding you. That is the title of this movie, My Old Ass. Now, this is a coming-of-age film starring Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey, right? Yeah. Why do I forget names all the time? Aubrey Plaza. Now, she's hilarious, and this is a coming-of-age comedy film. I've seen the trailer for this movie as well multiple times, and this looks like a fun movie. The plot line of this is that you have a younger version of the character that we're following, and she's partying with her friends, and she's taking mushrooms or something, and I guess she hallucinates the older version of herself, played by Aubrey Plaza. I think I got the name right. I feel so dumb right now. Played by Aubrey Plaza. So that's kind of a, kind of an interesting concept. And the older version of herself is trying to give the younger version of herself advice. Like, don't do this, appreciate your mom more, hang out with your family members, don't hang out with that guy. Trying to prevent her from making mistakes. But if she doesn't make mistakes in life, then how is she ever going to learn? Maybe that's the entire, lesson of the movie. I have no idea, but it sounds like it could be fun. It sounds like a good time, so I may want to check that one out as well. All right. I'm going to look that up later. I always confuse it. Is it Audrey or is it no, it's Aubrey. It's Aubrey Plaza. Whatever. Let's move on. All right. You guys know I never remember names. I am so horrible with it. When I get in front of the camera, I just flake. I don't know why. All right. September 20th. What do we have going on September 20th? Well, we have two distinct different options. First off, we have Transformers 1. Now, this is not your typical Transformers movie. This is an animation film, but this is an interesting concept. It's all about the origin story between Optimus Prime and Megatron. So before they were, enemies, I can't talk. Before they were enemies, they were friends. So I guess now you call them frenemies. No, they're full-on enemies. But they were friends before they were enemies. So this is the origin story, all about that. And this could be some fun. Now, I'm not sure if this is for me, only because, it's animation. It's not my go-to, but I do love Transformers. Maybe I'll watch this when it comes to streaming or something to check it out, but I don't think I'm actually going to go to the theater to seek this one out, So I think I'll skip this one, but possibly later on down the line, I can always stream it. Now, the other brand new release on this date, another horror film. I told you, getting ready for spooky season. Another horror film called Never Let Go. Now, this movie is starring Halle Berry, and the concept of this film, I've seen the trailer multiple times for this movie as well. It got delayed for some reason and landed on September 20th. So, the concept of this movie, you have Halle Berry and her two sons in a cabin in the woods, which is never a good situation. I don't know why people keep going out to a cabin in the woods, because it's never good. It never ends well. But regardless, her and her sons are out in a cabin in the woods, and they're okay if they stay on the property as long as they're attached to these very, very long ropes. And they can go anywhere on the property as long as they're attached, because the ropes are attached to the house, and so they're okay. But if they're not attached, something's going to happen. Hence the title, Never Let Go. Don't let go of the ropes. So I'm kind of curious. My interest is piqued. I'm not saying it's going to be the best horror movie of the year, but I'm interested. Like, what's out there? What's going on? What is Halle Berry afraid of? Are they creatures? Are they monsters? Are they ghosts? Like, what are they? I don't know. So I might go check this one out just to see, just to have the answer of what is going on. All right, finally, September 27th, we have, this looks like a cute movie. I've seen the trailer one time. It's called The Wild Robot. Now, I'm not going to go out to the movie theater and see this because it is animation. It's not for me. I'm just saying that because it's not a go-to for me. But I think this is going to be a really cute choice for families and younger children. There are other options for kids. Of course, there is Beetlejuice 2, but that's kind of gearing more towards the older kids just a little bit. And there is Transformers 1, but if you want something more for, like, 5-year-olds or something like that, kids, they're not going to get Beetlejuice 2. I don't think so anyway. So The Wild Robot, that's a great option for children and families. All right, next up on this date is Megalopolis. Say that 5 times fast. Megalopolis. This film is the newest film directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Adam Driver. I don't think I'm going to go for this one. And I got to be honest, like, I love Adam Driver. I do. I think he's so talented. And normally when I hear about a movie starring Adam Driver, my first instinct would be to go and see the movie, but I think I'm going to not go and see this film. I'm choosing not to support this movie. Number one, I read the description of the film. Now, this movie falls into the category of sci-fi drama, so because the whole sci-fi thing, that's not really like drawing me in, but also because the description of the film, my cat, don't worry, it's not a ghost. I have to say this every time. It's a cat. She's coming. She's circling. She's circling. It's almost feeding time. That's why she's getting hungry. I think she's just going to sit in front of me. All right, so the description of Megalopolis. Okay, there she is. See? I wasn't lying. Cat. So the description of Megalopolis, when I read it, I kind of wasn't getting it. I wasn't understanding it. And if I have to read a description like 10 times in a row and I still don't understand it, I'm not going to get the movie. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to put myself through that. I mean, I'm not a dumb person. So I don't like watching movies that make me feel dumb, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to avoid. Maybe I'll watch it in the future. I don't know, but I gotta be honest, the entire, scandal surrounding Francis Ford Coppola right now and his behavior on set with extras being very inappropriate, I'm not really sure I want to support this movie, so I'm probably not going to go and see it. I'm not going to go and see it in the theater. I'm definitely not. I'll go and see other things instead. I would rather go and check out The Wild Robot over Megalopolis. Like, I'm just going to bypass on that one. I'm not even sure if I'll ever see it because I don't want to support Francis Ford Coppola's behavior on set because that was completely inappropriate. So I don't know. Probably. It's more like the description of the movie, and then it's like the entire Coppola thing on top of it. Just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, so probably not. All right, let's get a little bit happier. The final movie to talk about is called Lee. This is a biopic about Lee Miller, who was a photojournalist during the war, during World War II. Talk about a tongue twister. There we go, but I got through it. Now, this movie is starring one of my favorite actresses of all time, Kate Winslet, and I have seen the trailer for this film one time and one time only. It's kind of giving Oscar vibes or award season vibes just a little bit. I could definitely see it as a contender, in particular for Kate Winslet for her performance in the film, getting nominated for Best Actress category. I could definitely see that. It's been a little bit since Kate Winslet has been nominated, and she's just so good in everything that she does. So it could be possible. I would definitely check this out over Megalopolis. I'm just not interested. So Lee, maybe I'll go and check that one out at the end of September. So if you're looking for a great biopic, you may want to check out Lee. So those are all the major main brand new releases that will be available in the month of September, possibly at your local theater. So comment down below and let me know, out of all of the movies that I talked about, which ones are you most interested in seeing. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you next time.